That's where a lot of anxiety and depression comes from comparing your lives to other people. Choose who you surround yourself carefully with. Obviously, that goes without saying. And be very careful about what you're talking about because your brain's listening all the time. Welcome, queens and kings, to How to Improve Your Mental Health, part 27. And in today's episode, we're talking all about mental nutrition. If you need more positive vibes in your nutrition, then hit your like button. And if you're new here, please would you subscribe and join our community. We're trying to spread positive vibes to everyone out there. Blessings. If you remember, in How to Improve Your Mental Health video 3, we were talking about nutrition. I'm going to tell you why. So you know when they say to us we need to eat a balanced, nutritious diet, the key word there is balanced. You need to be getting carbs, fats, protein, vitamins, minerals, and all of those have different jobs and they do different things inside of your body, and you need all of them. And because you need so many different, in a similar way, I want to talk to you about mental nutrition. And mental nutrition means everything that goes inside your mind. I'm talking about everything that you consume, but not food and drink, everything else that you actually consume, what you see, what you hear, what you're constantly being immersed with. And this is basically all the programming that you're putting into this supercomputer up here, which is your brain. Before I tell you anything, I'm going to tell you that your brain is unbelievably powerful to the extent that we can't even understand it as human beings. We use such a small part of our brain's power capacity, and even then the brain is able to do such amazing things on a day-to-day basis. So imagine what the brain is actually capable of. So what I'm going to tell you is that even when you don't realize it on a subconscious level, everything that you see, hear, look at, watch, you program your brain on some level. Your brain acknowledges it. Your brain receives that information. I'm talking about who you spend your time with, what you're talking about when you do spend time with friends or family, what you read, what you watch, and obviously in this day and age, what you consume on social media. Now, when it comes to watching films, obviously when we go to the cinema, we're watching a movie, or nowadays when we're watching something on Netflix, let's say something like Squid Game, we open those programs up with a certain level of suspension of disbelief. We know that we're going to be seeing things that are going to be unbelievable, and we sort of prepare our brains for that. But what about when we're watching soap operas? Soap operas are supposed to represent our real life situations, and yet so many outlandish things happen in soap operas that they're not really real. So I get to thinking, with soap operas, I've often seen things happen on soap operas and then heard about them happen in real life. So I end up thinking, is art imitating life or is life imitating art? Are those soap operas basing their stories on real life? Or are they making these stories up to create sensationalism, to try and get people to watch them, and then inadvertently they're actually teaching human beings to go and do shitty things to each other? I just want to ponder that thought. It's an open conversation. I'm not saying don't watch soap operas. I've spent years of my life, a long time ago, watching Coronation Street and Emmerdale, and shout out to them soap operas. I'm not knocking soap operas. I'm just saying that, are they the best thing for you to consume? I would love to see some information about people who watch soaps and don't watch soaps, and what their productivity levels are like and what their mental health is like. Interesting to know stuff like that. I might look for some research on that topic. I said earlier about hanging out with friends and what you talk about. I remember having a conscious conversation with a really good friend of mine about the fact that we needed to spend less time talking about people and more time talking about life and positive things, and we sort of try to do that. And as much as it's hard to do that because we just all love a gossip, don't we? It's not good for us, and all those negative things that we're talking about still register in our brain. So the message with that is, choose who you surround yourself carefully with. Obviously, that goes without saying. And be very careful about what you're talking about, because your brain's listening all the time. And your brain does understand and hear that information on some level. And then, unbeknownst to you, that information might end up causing you issues without you even realizing it. That's how powerful the brain is. But this video has to be predominantly about what we're consuming on social media. And I'll tell you why. Because we can all see an unfollow button. In the first place, we can choose who we follow, what we see on our feeds, what we see in our timelines. What are we watching on the internet? That is a massive factor these days. And I'll tell you why. I've had to mute so many people on my personal Instagram, which I don't even use anymore, but I had to mute because I knew that these people are presenting a life on social media which is not real. I know that. And it annoys me. It does annoy me because I'm not into fakeness. I hate fake things. I hate people pretending. If you're struggling in life, be honest and say we're struggling. Don't present this image of this perfect life that you guys have got about how happy you are and about how happy your kids are, because I know what your husband's like. And I know your husband's not that guy. I love your husband, but your husband's a douchebag. I know, but you can go out and say, oh, happy birthday to the greatest father and the greatest husband in the world. It doesn't make it real just because you wrote an Instagram post saying how amazing he is. Did you see that reaction from me then? That is exactly why you've got to unfollow and mute. Even the thought of seeing that post really gets to me. So when I see that post, you can imagine how I feel, and that's, I'm sure, how a lot of you guys feel when you see fake stuff on the internet and when you see fake stuff on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. You see a lot of people presenting these highlight reels of their perfect lives when in actual fact life's not like that. And to me, it annoys me, and I press unfollow or mute, or I just hide their content because I'm not into watching it. But imagine you're not like me and you're somebody who gets bothered by it, or you start comparing your life by it. And that's what happens to a lot of people out there, especially young people are looking at all these other people with these perfect lives, and then they start questioning themselves, and then they start hating their own lives. And I bet that's where a lot of anxiety and depression comes from comparing your lives to other people. In closing, folks, mental nutrition is just as important as physical nutrition. The things we put inside our body are what programs our brain. Unfortunately, in this day and age, no one reads. We don't read books anymore. We just watch and we watch and we watch. And like I said earlier, there's certain things that we can watch which probably do impact our brain, but we know that they're not supposed to be real. But what about these things that are supposed to be real and are less real than anything we've ever known? Tip with this, in order to improve your mental health, is learn how to unfollow, learn how to mute, learn how to come out of a group chat. You don't have to be in a group chat if you don't want. You have to put your mental health first. If something bothers you, don't engage with it. There's so many ways that we can protect ourselves in terms of our mental nutrition. Everything that we put up here programs something up here, and we need to make sure that we're putting positive programming into there. Don't watch stuff on social media that's going to put you in a position where it affects your mental health negatively. That's as simple as it is. I would love to sit here and say read more, but I don't read myself. But I have made a conscious effort to only follow people that inspire me and positively uplift me. And even then, I find a post of theirs, and I'm sure you probably see some of my posts sometimes and go yuck, because sometimes I'm sickly, but if I'm not feeling positive, I don't post. And I also do post a lot of stuff about struggle. So if I do make you then I'm sorry about that. I never intend to. But also, like, when other people post, they don't think about how it'll impact other people, and neither do I. I only try and impact people positively. But in saying that, you have to realize that we have the power. We said it earlier in this series of videos, everything is in our own control. We said it a couple of days ago with decision making. You can make the decision to not follow people. You can make the decision to change your circle of friends. You can make the decision to spend more time alone if all of your friends are like that and just want to talk about other people. Because talking about other people is not going to help you. Talking about other people, especially in a negative way and having those gossips, it's fun and we love it, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't help your mental health in the long term. It just passes the time, and we need our lives to be a little bit more than that. We possess the most powerful computer that will ever be created, our brain. So let's take advantage and put the proper programming in so that when the time is needed, it can help us in return. Okay folks, that was How to Improve Your Mental Health part 27. I'll be back tomorrow. In tomorrow's video will be the Urban Hippie vlog. So we'll be back with this series of videos on Saturday. My name is Shez Sheikh, I'm the Urban Hippie. Big love and blessings. We all need a positive.